Absolute value equations and solving word problems with radical equations. Solve the absolute value equation or indicate that the equation has no solution. The absolute value of x equals 3. The definition of absolute value means that whatever is inside the absolute value bars after everything has been simplified becomes positive. So for instance, the absolute value of -5 is positive 5. The absolute value of positive 5 is positive 5. Whatever number is inside those bars becomes positive. So in order to solve this equation, we're going to set what's inside the bars, which is x, equal to the negative and positive solution. So x equals 3 and x equals -3. If we were to place a 3 within the absolute value bars, our solution would be 3. If we were to place a -3 within the absolute value bars, our solution would also be 3. So our answers are x equals 3 and x equals -3. Solve the absolute value equation or indicate that the equation has no solution. 7 times the absolute value of 2x minus 3 equals 7. First, we want to get the absolute value expression by itself. To do that, we're going to divide both sides by 7. This becomes the absolute value of 2x minus 3 equals 1. Next, we want to get rid of the absolute value bars by setting the expression within the bars equal to a negative or positive solution. So I have 2x minus 3 equals positive 1, and 2x minus 3 equals -1. Next, we'll solve each equation. I'll add 3 to both sides for this one, and I'm left with 2x equals 4. Next, divide both sides by 2, and we get x equals positive 2. Now we'll move on to 2x minus 3 equals -1. We'll add 3 to both sides, and we have 2x equals positive 2. Then we'll divide both sides by 2, and we get x equals 1. So our solution is x equals 2 and x equals 1. Solve the absolute value equation or indicate that the equation has no solution. The absolute value of x plus 7 equals 1. First, I want to isolate the absolute value expression. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. I'm left with the absolute value of x plus 7 equals a -6. Now right away, I know that this answer is no solution. That's because an absolute value can never equal a negative number. That's because whatever's placed inside the absolute value has to be positive. That's the definition of the operation. So whenever we have an absolute value of an expression equaling a negative, we should know right away that the answer is empty set or no solution. A basketball player's hang time is the time spent in the air when shooting a basket. The formula T equals the square root of D over 2 models hang time, T in seconds, in terms of the vertical distance of a player's jump D in feet. When a particular player dunked a basketball, his hang time for the shot was approximately 1.18 seconds. What was the vertical distance D of his jump rounded to the nearest tenth? Here we're given a formula, which is T equals the square root D over 2. T is the player's hang time, which is given as 1.18 seconds. And we're asked to solve for D, which is the vertical distance. In order to solve, we're going to substitute 1.18 in for T, and we get 1.18 equals the square root of d over 2. I want to get rid of the denominator of 2. To do that, we'll multiply both sides by 2. 2 times 1.18 is 2.36, and that equals the square root of d. Next, we'll get rid of the square root bar by raising both sides to the exponent of 2. 2.36 squared is 5.5696, and that equals d. Our problem asks us to round to the nearest tenth. That means 1 decimal place. So we'll look at the digit that's 2 decimal places behind the decimal. And if that digit is 5 or greater, then we'll round our number up. Since we have a 6, we're going to round the 5 up to a 6. So this becomes d equals 5.6 feet.